Untitled Project TV.
Hi, my name is Alex Wiles, and thank you for watching this MMPTV update, where we tell the untold stories of those uniting across struggles to put people first. Today, we have Terrance and Danielle from the Philadelphia Unemployment Project to talk with us about the impacts of rising unemployment rates and how they are fighting back. We'll also hear a bit about services available for people facing unemployment. So, thank you guys so much for being on the show today.
Thank you.
Great to meet you guys.
Thank you for
Nice to
having
meet
us.
you.
Absolutely.
All right, so tell us a little bit about yourselves.
Well, I'm a father of three boys, and only blessed to have a job. I'm working for a nonprofit fighting for economic justice, where I get a chance actually to not only help myself but help people.
My name is Danielle Blackwell. I am a 42-year-old mother of an 11-year-old son. I have an undergraduate degree in international business. I have an MBA. I am fluent in conversational French. I have studied abroad. I am a licensed resident Pennsylvania agent for life insurance for health and annuities. I volunteer my services to help people to become financially independent and to give them information regarding their several circumstances that they face being unemployed.
What exactly does the Philadelphia Unemployment Project do?
Well, again, we're a nonprofit organization. We fight for economic justice, and we've been organizing poor people and people who've been unemployed since 1975. And we also work along with clergy, unions, and other like-minded organizations to fight for economic justice, whether it be job creation or homeowner assistance, or even the minimum wage.
So what does the leadership of the Philadelphia Unemployment Project look like?
Well, John Dodge, who's the founder and director of the organization, he's at the head of this. He's the one with the most experience and has been doing this the longest. And then I'm actually the lead organizer, but we also have a few other organizers. We have our healthcare organizers that help fight to get the Healthcare Act passed that the president proposed, and along with FAN. And we also have PUPCO, where for jobs that are on the outskirts of Philadelphia, we help people, get to where they can work and support their families. So we're very multifaceted.
Okay. So since the start of the 2008 economic recession, we've heard a lot about the problem of unemployment and how it's been growing. And the media might paint a rosier picture of the situation, but it seems like it's actually getting worse. So can you tell us a little bit about this situation and what unemployment looks like in Philadelphia?
Well, right now it's at 10.1%. At the worst, we were well over 11% at one time between 2008 and now. And the national average is 8.2%. So we're actually well above the national average. And then, not to mention, you're talking about in the African American community, in the minority communities, over 14%. Now that's officially, but let's get unofficial. Unofficially, we understand there's up to between 25 and 30%.
Wow.
So people are struggling, people are out of work, people are losing their homes, and people are crying out for a solution.
And this doesn't include people who are not accounted for, because you still have a population that they don't even count.
Right, because the census doesn't reach everyone.
Exactly.
Wow, that's a very high number. So what are the impacts of growing unemployment among families and communities?
Well,
how does not having a job impact other aspects of a person's life in terms of access to healthcare, education, and housing, things like that?
It's kind of a given that, first of all, when you're not unemployed, employment gives a person pride, dignity, and respect. With those things, it empowers you to go forward to the next step. So there's an emotional toll that not only affects the person unemployed, but it affects their family members. It affects every facet of their life.
people are losing their homes, foreclosure at an all-time high. As far as education, people are having to take their kids out of schools and move them around. So yeah, it definitely affects the whole family.
And not just family, friends as well. People who you know you don't want to see your person or your neighbor struggling. People hate to see people being put out of their homes or foreclosed upon. They can always think, oh, well, this could happen to me. So it's a community toll as well.
When you speak with people who are going through these issues, what what kind of things do they normally tell you about? Like what is the main obstacle between them and finding a job?
I mean, I've seen people break down and cry. Right now, not only do I do the organizing, but I'm also the job developer. I've seen people break down and cry and say, listen, I need a job. I need a formula that works. I'm staying with my aunt or my uncle. I have children. I'm at a shelter. Hey, guess what? I did everything right. I have a degree. Or I have 15, 20 years of work experience. I cannot find work. Can you help me? That's what we're hearing. And then also, too, when people do get a job right now, sometimes they're underemployed, right? So they're not making the money that they were making,
right.
And that's still a struggle. That's still a struggle. And we're trying to say, hey, we understand that it's tough, but you got to find some time to try to fight for yourself. And actually, right now, we're involved in voter registration. Remember the president proposed the American Jobs Act at one time, and people on the other side of the aisle shot it down, and in that particular bill was something called a Bridge to Work program, which was similar to the Way to Work program, which got 250,000 people around the country working and 12,000 Pennsylvanians working. So that was a great, great bill, a great jobs bill, and a lot of people could have been working. And as we understand, money is cyclical, it moves around. So when people are working and money's moving around and people are buying stuff, it helps the whole country.
So is that program still in effect? Is it still?
No, actually, it didn't make it through Congress. And that's why we're encouraging people to vote. And what we understand now, hey, it was a time maybe when some people can kind of get by without voting or not getting involved in the legislative process. But right now, with people losing their homes, with people getting all kinds of things cut, education, general assistance are being cut, people are being touched, and people are feeling this for real now. Mm-hmm. So we're saying to them, guess what? You got to get involved in the legislative process. You have to vote. You got to pay attention. You got to go to a town hall meeting. You have to let your voice be heard. And after all, our children are at stake. You're talking about cutting education. That's pretty much a no-brainer that we need to be educated.
Right, of course. It's definitely at the root of a lot of our problems, education. So what kind of services are available for those struggling with unemployment?
Well, we actually have a jobs club that meets every Tuesday at 10 o'clock, and we're located at 112 North Broad Street, right off of Broad and Arch, 111th floor, again with the Philadelphia Unemployment Project, where we normally invite employers, staffing agencies, or other agencies that have access to employers to try to get people working. And what our formula has been is, hey, look, get as many irons in the fire as possible, and then maybe you can land something. But we know it's not easy. And right now, looking for a job for people is like having 3 jobs, because people are suffering and they don't leave anything unturned.
There are services for basic computer skills. People can go in and use the computer, learn how to use the computer, learn how to use email. Person needs help or having trouble paying for their mortgage, there's mortgage counselors down there to explain the process. We started a mortgage crisis foreclosure process at the court. Would you like to elaborate more about this?
Absolutely. We have a foreclosure crisis committee. Of course, when the big foreclosure crisis and the recession hit this country and people were in need of homeowner assistance, we actually went to the courts and city council and advocated and say, wait a minute, people shouldn't get their homes taken. There's a program that's this close to being passed through. Why should people lose their homes? Let us advocate and get the program pushed through. At that time, it was the Emergency Homeowners Loan Program. We gave homeowners $50,000 to help save their home. It only took them a few days to give that $700 billion bailout, right? So we're saying, hey, we're the people that pay taxes. It took you a few days to give them that money. Don't forget about the American people. Don't forget about the people that helped build this country and work and sweat every day.
Well, we also know that people are starting to question why these conditions even exist in the first place, especially with so much wealth being generated today, and communities are really coming together to organize for the right to take care of their families. So how are folks you work with at the Philadelphia Unemployment Project organizing to address conditions of unemployment and poverty in Philadelphia?
Well, if I can say again, and even talking to our members about job opportunities, we do take a portion and say, you have to fight for yourself. It's simply not enough just to act like none of this stuff is going on, and plus you're feeling it. So, and then we also have like a leadership committee. We have some leaders and some volunteers learn how to organize. Hey, we're learning from John Dias, who's been doing this even before 1975, right? We teach people how to make signs and say, hey, when you make a sign, you want it to be, as soon as the camera hit it, you want it to say the whole message. You know, we teach people how to be leaders and how to be organizers, and right now we're involved in several campaigns.
Several campaigns?
Yeah, well, right now we're in a fight, and I'm sure you know this already. General assistance was zeroed out of the budget. The governor saw fit. You know, that's going to affect about 70,000 people, abused women, orphans, people suffering from addiction, people with mental disabilities are not going to get their $205 stipend at the end of August. But he did say in the media that there are other programs. So we're trying to hold them accountable and say, where are these programs? You know, if it's not one of us, we may have a cousin, a brother, a loved one, somebody that suffers from a mental disorder, or maybe disabled or something like that, or may suffer from addiction, and can use some extra help. So these are our most vulnerable citizens, and so we're advocating for them.
Wow. So how could someone who wanted to get involved with the PUP get involved?
Several ways. They can either just come down. We're open Monday through Friday from 9 to 4:30, and they can ask for me. Again, I'm Terrance Meacham. My number 215-557-0822. My extension is 132. Or if you could talk to the operator, just say come on in. Or they can give me a call and say, hey, I want to get involved. Hey, I'm tired of what's going on. Hey, I want some change.
Well, thank you both for being on the show today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. At MMPTV, we know the fight for living wage jobs is deeply connected to struggles for education, healthcare, housing, and for the dignity and respect that all people deserve. We also know it's going to take a movement to eliminate the structural inequality at the root of all our struggles, and to ensure that people are put first in our society. To share your story and to get involved with Put People First PA, contact stories@putpeoplefirst.com. I'm Alex Wiles, and thank you for watching MMPTV.
Media mobilizing Project TV.